Hey everyone, hope you guys had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me on May 1st. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's get started with BTC. And today's market update will be pretty short because there's not too much we're looking at. But we did drop back down to close out the second arrow. I was hoping the first arrow would have dropped down a lot more. But I'll still take this, right? We still had a really nice big drop. Yesterday night, I mentioned, hey, you know what? We closed this really weak candle, so we should drop soon. And then I think, 20 minutes later, we had this nice drop. This time, I didn't send out a signal alert, which I should have. I only posted it in the Discord. So I messed up on that one. Let's see. Now, we still have one more second arrow target. Sorry, the cats are in my way. And that's at 27,125, and then from there we can even possibly come back down to the green area. So with this drop down, actually kind of fits pretty good, where it kind of goes up sideways and then comes back down. And we rode the trend line kind of like I mentioned we probably would. I was like, when we came down, like, hey, you know what? Down here I mentioned, hey, this will be a good time to get out in this little area here, and it's actually still playing out pretty well, even though we pushed up. Remember, only Bitcoin pushed up, the alts didn't. So then when this dropped back down, the alts dropped. So still actually hanging out pretty good in that area for an exit. Even though Bitcoin gave us like a little fake out. Oh, I'm losing my little thing. I mentioned, hey, once we broke the fib, I mentioned, hey, we can come back up to the top trend line, which we did. And then I stated, you know what, either here once we hit a red candle, we should drop back down, which we kind of overall did, but we did have one little pushback up to the top of the trend line, and now it's dropping back down. And we know Bitcoin, again, likes to ride trend line, so this looks like it could be it, and we can start pushing back down. If we look at the dollar, it's actually pushing up nicely. Although, both times they retraced a good chunk, but still, pushing upward. We did drop below, but came back up, still pushing upward. So this just still pushes back down. I know on Wednesday we have some Fed news, so that could be an interesting day. But for today and tomorrow, I'm thinking we should continue to slowly push down. And again, with the pattern in mind, right there. So it should be like this. Maybe we drop a lot more because would be a nice little big drop, and that would knock out, the 27,125. Then we go sideways for a little bit and then possibly drop back down. But overall, the pattern's still kind of there. And if we look at, one thing I was kind of looking at is, I guess you can kind of call it the Wyckoff pattern, where does this is where it should technically drop, push back down. It could also be doing something like that. But other than that, it's kind of repeating itself as we did here. Went up, came down, we went up, came down, we went up, we went up. We drop down, we drop down. This is the sideways noise that we're doing. Then we have a drop, sideways, and then drop. So drop, sideways, drop. And this is why a while back I even mentioned, hey, we can even drop all the way back down to 20 or 21, I can't remember. Because it does show us dropping below. So it's going to be very important that we hold on this 25,200 to see if we bounce back up. Or if we drop back down and start a whole new, bearish little cycle for a couple months, which honestly would probably be better for me because I do want to buy it cheaper, and I've been wanting the dollar cost average for a while. I only added a little bit down here. I didn't add too much because again, overall, I still feel like the market. Oops. Wait, no, I can actually delete that already because we have to read it. I remember I mentioned we should technically bounce all the way back down to the 25. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And then this eventually we slowly, start heading back up. So for now, we're just going to wait for it to slowly drop back down. Again, Wednesday, there should be some Fed news. So maybe on Wednesday, we drop, pushes back up, and then it comes back down. But like I said, for a while, ultimately, I'm still bearish. Even though we had this little push up here, not that big of a deal. It could be what some people call the ABC pattern, where we can drop back down. It would kind of be a head and shoulders in a sense, but not really because it's kind of too sideways. But other than that, that's pretty much it for today. I'll keep everybody updated on the Discord if anything interesting happens. Oh, another thing to note, I did update the bull market prices. I'll be doing some more today. So the list is getting a lot bigger. So I'll be doing some more today. And then I'll post like a little update like, hey, it's been updated with like the most recent ones that people requested. Alright, but other than that, I'll see you guys in the next update. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is TinderKitter.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have two levels. I have that really stand out. I have the peace of mind and I have the edge. And the reason I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the peace of mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. Just the other day, I sent out an alert on a signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody like triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And, 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's like, oh, surprised. Oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the edge tier, which the reason I call it edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the, sorry, I almost said edge, but with the peace of mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in a chat room where no one can see it. For the edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, certain coins you're interested in, you just weren't sure about it. Some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. Sometimes we just talk about certain things and, it helps them calm with the market, so they're not too upset with what's going on. Maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden gems room where people post unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here, so there's a lot of links for like good cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest signal link, and the signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. Like if I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps, so that way because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted, because sometimes people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know like, hey, this is emergency, like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, something big is going to happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the peace of mind, you can only view what other people are requesting, but here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these will be like this. Someone talked about 1. Well, now you know that 1 has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video, but down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what, this thing's about to take off. And it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what, this could probably be the top. And I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm going to update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, you know, a place for woo woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room. We have a spiritual room, and then we have two other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into it too much. We also have a free trading room, so if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also the link is in the description below. If you're on the edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. You know, everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs. Nobody's upset. Nobody, you know, is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to go up? It's going to go down? We kind of already know what's going to go, like, right? And if we know we're going to drop and it goes up, we know it's going to come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room.